For today's video, we're going to be playing Dominion again, but this time it's a more traditional control deck. I love Unite the Houses, but I know it's not for everybody, and I've been thinking a lot lately about control in the current format. It's very much an Ice Storm dominated format. If you're playing control, you have to be packing Ice Storm to deal with those crabs. But I wanted to take it a step further and add in a bunch of drain, still give myself access to spot removal, maybe some debilitate sheer point action, just because I really like that package. I've been playing that a lot, and so I felt like Dominion was a great place to do all of that, and now this is the deck. So as always, deck code will be in the video description, as always with these deck testing videos. We're going to go play 2 games, win or lose on the ladder. As always, we hope for more wins than losses, but you never know. So we're gonna see if this is more successful or not than Unite the Houses Dominion. So it's entirely possible if this goes 1-1, we can just say definitively after yesterday's video that Unite the Houses is the superior Dominion control, which again I say super tongue-in-cheek, but the reality is I just really want to get Unite the Houses nerfed. So I'm gonna keep pitching this. I'm gonna keep throwing it out there, and I don't think we want any of these in our opening hand here. Frankie Hot Dogs, if you're not familiar, is very active in the community, very active in Twitch as far as hanging out in streams. Very good player, so this is going to be a difficult matchup. I suspect if they're on Assassin, this is probably an aggressive Assassin deck. So we're going to have our work cut out for us here.
Friend.
And we thankfully already have an Execute to deal with that. And I think that this is safe. Sometimes you want to save your Executes against blue to deal with Daggerfall. But if this is truly aggro Assassin, they're likely not running Daggerfall. So getting rid of the warded creature and opening up these Black Hand Messengers makes sense. Now I could be wrong. They could just plot down a Daggerfall here. Alright, solid choice for our opponent that we don't have a lot of answers for, so they're going to get to draw those cards. Not much we can really do about that. But we'll try to set up a trade. The good news is we do have multiple board clears. We have some sources of drain. So we're in an okay position here, but this isn't like a go wide aggro deck. Traditionally, these Assassin versions are very burst oriented, Swift Strikes, Lightning Bolts, you know, Satanine Courier, etc. So Ice Storm doesn't really have the same value here that it does against, you know, the more traditional token decks. However, Lunar Sway tells me a lot about our current matchup, actually. I'm very surprised to see that, because that tells me this is a Wax Wane Assassin. That means we should expect to see things like potentially Alfie Conjurer, certainly the Pikachu Kitty. Interesting. Okay, Frankie's throwing me for a loop. Here I thought I was playing against aggro. That Execute actually might have been a misplay then. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a more mid-rangey, more dynamic Wax Wane version of Assassin.
There's a plan. There's always a plan.
I think we go like that and then we just pass. We could also Black Hand Messenger that to make Bruma potentially trade, but
There will be sweetmeats.
We don't know what they're going to do here. They're just going to keep cycling.
Business with House Halalu.
And they, I guess they're trying to bait out the Ice Storm here. But we can get away with not Ice Storming. We could instead just debilitate if we want. We have to use a ring charge to do so, but I think that's fine.
I'll profit from your death.
If If we can clear essentially everything, yes, this is left behind, but we can do so with the -2/-2, saving the 3 damage because it's a bigger benchmark, I think is more important. We don't hit warded things, obviously, with Ice Storm, but we do also have the Dawn's Wrath as backup, so...
I bark and burn. This is interesting.
Just go ahead and kind of cycle through some options here. I suspect that Frankie is trying to set up a very powerful Wax Wayne combo then at this point. Or they were simply waiting for the Wayne side of things.
I will cut your person throat. The Black Hand sees all.
Let's actually just do this. They still have a lot more cards than we do, though, but I'm relatively okay with that for now. If things get too out of hand, we do have the sweeps, which would potentially even it up.
Unclad fools!
Alright, so here comes the Pikachu.
This one will tear them to shreds.
Frankie getting a lot of value with the cycle, the draw a card options here.
You're going to regret.
Odwing's a very nice pickup in this particular matchup. This breaks a rune. Do we care if we break runes here? I'm not sure that we do.
My scales move in
I think we're fine with breaking the rune and then just developing this.
is not to be underestimated.
I mean, we can Ice Storm if they completely flood the board. If they don't, we still have Cloud Rest and the Curse to maybe set up some trades in our favor. We're already at so much health that at this point I don't think that relatively matters. Here comes the Lunar Sway.
Razin's ring! Die, Shafskin! This might be handy.
Chooses to save the Doggy Rot. I'm just gonna play the Ice Storm that we just top decked, making them think that maybe we didn't have it originally.
This one will tear them to shreds.
Again, the cycling coming through.
This one will tear them to shreds.
So much value from these cycles, but they're almost halfway through their deck. I mean, we do have Dawn's Wrath here. We have a lot of options. But I really feel like Odiving might just be the play. They've only got one more Harpy left. It's our last ring charge, but it's a really powerful option. And it clears up most of the board. I think that you just take it here.
You must prove your mastery.
They've gotten a lot of value from cycling their Wax Wayne options, right? They've played 2 of the Moon Phase. They've already played all 3 of their Gouts.
Blessings upon you.
Just trying to buy themselves some time. Stall against the Odiving. And that makes sense. Looks like we've got a spectator. A dual observer. Silverfuse. Hello. If you see this YouTube video later. If you see this YouTube video later, hello and welcome. Alright, we got a lot of potential plays here, but we're gonna start with
to draw their fire.
trading in here. I like this a lot. If we use the Black Hand in both our curses, we can also fully clear that. but it means not putting something in the way of our Odaving to protect it. So if he happens to run Viper, that could be a bit of an issue, but I think I like that play. So I think we're going to take it. Let's just get this out of the way. So it's a pretty substantial board on our part. Only 5 cards left. Again, we're susceptible to Viper by doing this, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't feel like he's the kind of deck that runs Viper. So that'll still give us a turn to hopefully get this Exemplar up in front of Ancano, protect our Odaving.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
We're gonna have to give him some cards here while we push damage, but I think it's the correct play. Let's just go ahead and get in there.
It's hardly a challenge.
There's a play. There's always
Do this.
a play.
You know that this is just bait for the curse, but we're gonna go ahead and take the bait anyway, because we want them to have to use this dagger to clear the phalanx. It's one of those things where you know they have it, but you want to make them use it.
Not be on the wrong side of history.
Okay. Abner is a great answer. But now that Ancano also means giving me a rune. Or it does not. Okay.
We'll see
Bravo,
this.
Frankie. Bravo, Frankie. I'm not even angry.
Bark and bear. This is
Just
interesting.
impressed.
Shall we
Right,
pretend
just
that
go ahead and do
on the
this.
stage where-
Just go ahead and do this to continue trying to threaten. I mean, we have the Wrath here. But we know that they're going to chase us to the Shadow anyway because they have to, so. That was a really good Abner. We have a lot of reach in this deck. You know, lightning bolts, things like that. Alright, they get some zaps there. They have the lightning bolt themselves. Not gonna give me the satisfaction. I don't think that we're quite in Dawn's Wrath territory yet. So they're on to the Wayne side of things. So unless they have the gate or another way to deal one more damage, I think this is fine.
Never give ground.
So we just try to kind of slow them down a bit. I think this is a pretty weak Dawn's Wrath, and the Ice Storm doesn't help us a ton at the moment. And if they break a rune and give us some cards, I think that can only be beneficial. So we take a look here. They've got one Cliff Racer left.
Dark times breed dark omens.
Okay. This general works out pretty well for them. There's the final Cliff Racer.
I'll teach
That's still, I think that's a really good
Care to make a
phalanx.
friendly wager?
Alright, yeah, this is a much better Dawn's Wrath. I mean, theoretically, Ice Storm also clears this as well, so maybe you just take the Storm here. Save the Wrath even further. I mean, Iron's a great play, but we don't have any of our own lightning bolts here, so it's not like we could try to get something like that back. Let's be honest, It's the highest probability is that we get a curse back, so Iron's not to play. It's really just Dawn's Wrath or Ice Storm. And I feel like there's a merit to both, but I feel like Ice Storm's the play because we really just care about shutting this down more than anything. So we're going to take the Ice Storm here. This has the potential to grow. Alright, we'll see what Iron gets us back here. Gets us the curse, like we expected, but we're fine with that because our Ice Storm play set up a beautiful answer to the Shadow Lane. And now they have to deal with Iron. They get the Shackle. That's a great way to do it.
Business with House Halalu.
For a brighter future.
Properly recognizing at this point that they don't really have any choice, but I think to go face. And unless they run like Giant Snake, this is again safe to go in this lane, and we do not see any snakes as of yet. And Frankie is down to only 16 cards in their deck, so they've found the majority of it. We never saw any Moon Gates. I think Frankie got a raw deal here. This game could have went significantly different had Frankie ever found a Moon Gate.
Dark times breed dark omens.
And with that, we'll take the victory. We'll take the victory. That's hard fought. As I said, Frankie's a great player. No gates whatsoever. I feel like got a bit of a raw deal there. But a win is a win is a win is a win. And with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into game 2. Because as you know around here, the format is 2 games, win or lose, and there's a lot on the line here, because if I lose this game, then I'm just going to go out and say that Unite the Houses is the superior Dominion control deck based on yesterday's video. It's incredibly dramatic of me to do so. It's quite the hyperbole, but it is what it is. In fact, I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee I got over here and let you guys just relish in the fact that Unite the Houses potentially could be the best Dominion control deck. All right. Coffee secured in time for us to jump into game 2, and by that I mean for us to see this black screen. You are not hallucinating. It just is. That's just how long it took for that to load. I don't know what's going on there, but I had to look over and make sure my internet didn't drop. A little bit scary. All right. We don't want any of these in our opener. I mean, they're all fine cards, but we don't want them in our opener. It's a little bit better. Point's good tempo play. We get some early drops. Monk here could be aggressive, could be Wax Wayne. It'd be kind of interesting if we played against back-to-back Wax Wayne decks, lunar decks.
This one a home. This one will never forget that.
Preparations have been
Go ahead and get this down. Just to try to set up some trades and stop this pilfer nonsense. Oh, they're going to take the gavel. We're fine with that.
Give no.
We're absolutely fine with that. Yeah, sure. It stops the pilfer. This theoretically is just a better answer to it, but then you have to give them the 1/1. And I just don't feel like doing
This
that.
one has been sharpening her claws all day.
Oh, what a top deck. Beautiful. Beautiful top deck as we continue trying to buy ourselves time to get to 6. They're just going to javelin. Okay. Now, this gets +1/+1, so it's going to jump to a 4/4. But I think we just leave this curse here for now. And the reason for that is we could curse it now, and then that sets it up so it would be a 3/3 in this trades. But we could do that anyway. But this way they have to give us the rune, and then even if they destroy this and we don't get the trade, we also have the shear point that can go into it, along with this curse. I think it just ends up being net better for us overall. But instead we get to do something like this, where we're going to take the shear point here. I think we want to get rid of this far more than we want to get rid of this, actually, so... I mean, unless they have Master of Thieves come down or Swift Strike, this is, I think, less of a problem than the one that makes a million bodies.
The moons give this one strength.
And between the Ice Storm and the Debilitate in our hand, I think we're in a fine position here. I mean, we take some more damage, but you know what? This goes to our hand. Because even if they Master of Thieves here, I'm fine with that. We're just going to end up Ice Storming and clearing. So this is an easy Ice Storm pass. And save the Javelin for if needed. We have lots of other fantastic spot removal. And at this point we're just trying to find some drain. We do worry a little bit about charge, but at 15 health we're relatively okay. Baruma's a fine pickup here. This can hit itself, but I think saving it for defense makes more sense here. So we'll play the Bruma. Just waiting for them to play something without charge.
Khajiit likes these. Khajiit doesn't need to be followed.
Okay.
Together, we
There's
will
the Master
make
of
a
Thieves.
fortune.
There's the Master of Thieves, but we're still relative. Oh, they took that. Okay, well, we're still relatively fine with this, all things considered. We have so much removal. What I really need is drain. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna play our creature-based removal, largely because I want to gain some health with this Bruma. It also just means, I mean, we use a lot of cards to do it, but it means we kind of clear up our hand a little bit. We were in danger of overdrawing. Allows us to keep our Javelin as well. But if you're wondering why I'm not attacking, it's because, again, at some point I would like to find real drain, not just this Black Hand Messenger, so that we can go down that path. But with Ankano, there's an argument to be made about maybe pushing some damage here. Let's put him on the cusp and then do some math, right? If we do 7 more, they go to 19. And then on the following turn, we would potentially be able to do 11. We would be 1 off of lethal. So we wait. 1 off of lethal.
This one is very resourceful.
And naturally, we find something that's going to force us to break runes now, so
My power is
that's the way it always works, right? Go ahead and go this route.
Foil my plan.
So we will get that in, and now take the Javelin and try to set up the win, the kill here. And even if they prevent it, sure, they bring down the Manticora. That's fine. We've got a lot of options. Interesting they chose that one.
That will keep this one out. I lurk in the shadows. Wait.
But this is going to be it, barring, I think, multiple prophecies, because Blackhand Messenger and Ankano represent even more sources of reach here. So, and that's going to be
You
it.
won't foil my plan. I have many important
He's got many important things on his mind, and one of them is winning. So, jury is still out. Don't know if it's going to be Dominion control or Unite the Houses control. That's technically the better Dominion deck because they both went 2-0. I guess that's up to you guys. Take them on the ladder, play some games. I'd love to hear from you. More importantly, I just want to see people playing Unite the Houses on the ladder. So go play Unite on the ladder. Anyway, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thanks. Until next time, may you walk on warm sands.